Thank you so much for joining us for yet another episode of Lowcountry Money Talk. This is a show where we talk everything money, how it might relate to you, what's going on in current events, global events, and how this all affects us. So we've got good news because we have another episode planned, and it's going to be a great one. Phil Bloyd is here. Nice to see you.
Good to be back.
Glad you're back. He's with Revolutionary Financial Group, so an expert definitely in this industry and some of our discussions today. So today we're going to talk about Social Security, retirement income sources in general, and some other things that are affecting our viewers, some questions folks are having out there for sure. Let's start, just with income sources in general. Speaking of those who are in retirement now, help us with Social Security and what we really need to know.
Many times, Jessa, I'll do a T-graph, and on the left side of the graph is income, because we got to pay the bills first. So if anything happens to our income, of course, it could be a disaster for retirees. So this is very important. We need to get this right. There used to be a picture that I remember about 30 years or so when I started in the industry, and it was a stool, and it was a three-legged stool. And this was the three different legs of retirement. Now a lot of times people are using buckets, but then, so you had like investment income, you had a pension on one of the legs, and then you had a rickety leg, and that was Social Security.
Social Security leg is rickety.
Well, people weren't really sure, depending on their age, how that was going to be, when they retired. So, but today retirees use Social Security as one of their main income sources.
And as we know, there have been some things that have changed. So we need to talk about that, make sure you all understand what those changes are. And, for folks who may be entering retirement, exactly what plan do you have for taking Social Security? So let's start there. What age is the first age that we can start taking this?
Usually we look at reduced income at age 62 that we could start. The first thing I would just like to tell everyone, Jessa, is go talk to Social Security or set up an account on Social Security. They have a website you can go to, you can just easily Google it up. Go to their website, set up an account. They used to mail us a statement, and it would say, okay, if you retire at 62, this is how much you get. Full retirement age for you is 66 and X amount of months. We used to think it was being 55, but that's changed over the year, or 65, excuse me, but that's changed over the years. And then, then they will tell you if you wait till 70 to take it, this is how much you can get. So you need to make sure you get those numbers for you. The other thing you will get on that report, if you set up an account, it'll also show you every year that you've earned income.
Wow.
So if there's some errors there, you're like, no, I'm pretty sure I made more money that year. You'll want to check that, because that will affect the numbers on the other side.
Wow.
So make sure you get your report. That's the number one thing.
Well, and what's interesting about what you're talking about too is it seems like sort of this mysterious formula. It reminds me of a credit score. Here's your number. I'm not exactly sure how we got there, but you want to make sure you have all the information and that everything's accurate so that you're getting the best score, in this case, the best outcome for Social Security. All right, some folks now, of course, you said 62 is when you can start. Let's say we enter full retirement at 66. Is that something we want to do? Do we try and wait for that number, or maybe even longer?
It depends. Are you still working? So if I want to still work and take income at our Social Security at 62, I don't know if that's a great idea, because there's limits on how much income you can make before there's chargebacks and stuff. So I don't know. It used to be at age 65 when Ron Reagan came in, he changed and said, well, if you're 65 and you want to draw Social Security and work full time, you can do it. Now they've changed that to whatever your full retirement age is. And most people that I see, their full retirement age is 66 in a few months, so whatever yours is specific now to you based upon your date of birth and some various things. But the best way to find out is to get your report.
Get your report. So start there, and then you can look at some things. Okay. So we're going to talk a little bit more when we come back from the break. Lots of folks wondering about what happens as they do age. if they lose a spouse. A lot of things to, you know, really handle there, obviously on the emotional side, but it affects you financially.
Sure.
So we'll talk about that on the other side of the break. Stick with us. We'll be right back.